Hello, welcome back to another episode of Compact Claustrophobia. So I got some pretty good news to start us off with. I actually did set up a camera for the marimba, and this is great because now I can show myself playing it. I've also made the decision to reserve most of the music stuff for shorts and live streaming. And so if you wanted to see me play live, feel free to drop by the streams or just keep an eye out on my shorts uploads. But for the Let's Plays, I'm still going to be making references to them, like I've been doing for quite a while. Anyways, back to Minecraft. So what we did on the last episode was we set up the automation for this miniaturization field to make us ender pearls. And then we also set up a passive automation to make us a ton of obsidian over time using the crucibles that we're able to craft now that we have ender pearls. And I can even check our storage. We have 200 ender pearls, so that's working just fine. And we have 13,000 obsidian. This is actually really good. And the cool thing about using the crucibles is that we don't actually use any power for this. So the plan for the next couple of episodes is going to be relatively simple. We're getting really close to the high impact compactor, and I really want this because if I check the recipes, this is what really unlocks the rest of the pack for us. We can actually start making diamonds and a more efficient recipe for diamond nuggets as well using this. But we need to make the highest tier compact machine for this. But we're actually not that far away. I've noticed that there's two recipes for this. One uses 6 of the giant machines, but the other one uses 1. But the size of the actual recipe is different. So this is a 5x5x5, which I think we could put in a giant machine. So I think the plan is to make one giant compact machine and then set up like a miniaturization field for that. I'm not too sure about setting up an automation for this. I think I'm just going to leave that manually crafting. Pretty exciting though, because we're actually approaching the end of the pack. I think once we get this high impact compactor rule, we'll be able to get to the end pretty soon. The main objective, I think, we have to craft the bedrock pick, which needs diamonds and bedrock itself. And this is with bedrock chunks, which is made with the diamond pickaxe. So we'll be getting there pretty soon. I'm not exactly sure how long, but the progress is there. Technically, we have the resources for the compact machine. If you really think about it, if you break it down, all it really costs to make any compact machine is modularium, which is uranium, iron, and redstone, and wood. We already have all of that automated. But our main issue right now is how fast we're processing it. So there's 2 things I want to do at least today, is being able to craft things faster. So, for example, modularium blend. This stuff is just a crafting table recipe. And one thing I can do to upgrade our multi-block crafter over here, you know, the one that has everything, we don't need that much crafting storages. So I think what I can do is make these crafting CPUs. Yeah, these guys. All this does is make any recipe that you put into here craft a little faster. So I'm probably just going to craft a bunch of them. These guys are just diamond nuggets, which we can make a good amount of this right now, so I'm not too worried about the cost. Another thing I want to do is something I should have done a while back, is fix how we deal with furnace recipes. Because right now, in order to make the ingot, we put it in a single redstone furnace. It's not very good because, yeah, we have to process 7,000 of this. So that's going to take a while. I have an idea for this. I think what I'm going to do is have a general purpose compact machine. Let's cancel this recipe and have a compact machine that is able to store a bunch of furnaces. Maybe a small one. A small one is probably just fine. So I'm basically going to put any furnaces. We have 3 furnaces, I think. We have one here with a bunch of those recipes, another one with all of those, and then I think we have another one over here. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is have a furnace array, so maybe like 10 redstone furnaces or something like that, and then have a way to distribute the items between them and really speed up our crafting. And another thing I'm going to start using are the resonant upgrade kits. Start off with 10 for now, but these are going to use Enderium, which we can now craft now that we have ender pearls. I'll be using this recipe over here, so resonant ender is going to be made in a melter, and then lead platinum alloy in an alloy furnace. So this doesn't look too expensive, so we'll go ahead and start with those. Okay, so we got a bunch of goodies now. I'm going to try putting it right here. Replace this guy. Take off the crafter for now. I can't go back there. Hang on. One of the issues with a mod pack like this, it's kind of hard to traverse your surroundings because you have stuff like that happening all the time. Anyways, I'm going to have a single piece of cable right here. And then we're going to put a compact machine right here to access everything else. So I'm going to be accessing power from over here. This one is going to attach to the back. Yes. And then we're going to have 10 machines. 10 redstone furnaces like this. And they will all be upgraded to resonant tier and spammed with a bunch of these reception coils. Basically speed them up as fast as possible. And then next up is to set them up to be input output. And I can go ahead and use a red print to basically copy all of the settings like that. I'm getting used to using these. These are actually super useful. So I don't have to do this manually for each recipe. I just copy and then paste. And then they all have the same settings. It's so helpful. And then for the actual input output of the items, I'm going to be using item conduits. I like these a lot because they're very compact. I can do input and output on the same place, right? So I can tell this guy to insert on green and extract on brown. And then pretty much use the conduit probe to go ahead and copy that for every single redstone furnace. Because otherwise I would have to have like the other setup outside where I have one way to input items, so down here, and then another way to output items. Now I can just have everything here and save space. And then the next step is to start connecting these stores, these strong boxes. I think I'll go ahead and put them over here. These are going to store all the items that we give them, and they're going to accept from the crafter. Got to connect to refined storage right there. And then have a crafter right here. And these guys are pretty much going to store the same patterns that we had. So we have items going into these strong boxes, and then I need a way to actually transport the items from them, which would be a conduit network right here. And then each one will be extract on green, but round robin, so that it evenly distributes between each of the furnaces. And I can go ahead and copy them all like that. So now they all should be extract always active, round robin enabled. And then I can even speed up their extraction by using extract speed upgrades. I'm only going to upgrade this one because this one's going to be involved in pushing modularium blends. And I'll explain how that's going to work in a little bit after I get this all set up. And then another thing we're going to need is an interface. And this is just to be able to push the items a little quicker, because otherwise it's going to be a little slow if I start pushing them into here with all the other items that are being sent over. So it's going to have its own interface. And I just give it a stack upgrade and a bunch of speed upgrades. And this guy is going to insert on brown, which takes the extract from here. So I think right now it's already good to go, but we need another step to do. So if we actually want it to work well, we should have the recipes increase. So this is pretty much a lesson that I've learned in GTNH, is that sometimes it's better to just push more items at once. It actually slows your crafting down if you have one item to craft one thing. What you can do to really speed it up is just push more items. So I'm going to aim for 1024, and I forget it's not like GTNH. I have to have actual stacks of items. Hang on. So I want to put 1024, which is how many stacks? I just fill them all up, honestly. Yeah, just do that. Yeah. I don't even know how many items this is. I think it's 576. Let me check them, actually. You know what? I have a calculator. We're not cavemen. We have technology. So 64 times 9 is 576. See? And I completed a quest. Sweet. Yeah, that's kind of a known thing with me. I kind of forget to complete quests sometimes. Don't crash. Oh, I scrolled by accident. Oh, no. We figured that out last time, I remember. I scrolled by accident and it causes a crash whenever you look at the processing grid. It's so funny. Anyways, what I was trying to say is that sometimes I tend to miss quests or I do them too early, and then I have entire quest pages not completed because I just did everything too fast. This is especially noticeable in my GTNH playthrough where pretty much half of the B quest line is missing because I just did everything in a different order. Anyway, so yeah, we modified the pattern to push 576 modularium blend and to expect 576 modularium. So let's try crafting it. I'm just curious how fast these furnaces are going to be now. Actually, you know what? Before I do this, it's going to try to craft a lot of these modularium blends. And these are crafting table recipes, so I really should make those crafting CPUs. We'll start with 4, so we have 5 in total. I don't really know how fast this is going to be. Oh, you know what? One thing we can do, and I'm going to cancel this recipe, is modify the iron crafting. So similar to the modularium, what I can do is just tell this to start pushing in tons of iron grit and make a ton of iron at once. Just don't scroll because I'm going to crash again. It's so funny though, because the way to modify the amount of items that get registered here is to scroll click. So it's very easy for me to just scroll instead and then cause a crash. Anyway, so put this guy over here and then we'll try to craft all of those ingots and we'll see what it does. And if I check here, we have everything all over the place now. I think it's already almost done. That's pretty impressive. And look at that. We already made all of it. So this is a big improvement. Anyways, let's craft the CPUs again. And we'll see how much of an impact these make. Just waiting for things to craft. Now, one thing I'm not really sure about. Let me break this cable just in case. It's probably going to break some of the pickaxe crafting that we have always going on. So one thing I'm not too sure about, where are these patterns stored? If I break the crafting storages, is it going to just spill all the items everywhere? Or am I even going to delete anything? That'd be kind of, that would not be very fun. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, they're stored in here. Oh, no. Yeah, and I mean, I don't even know what to do about this. Hang on. I mean, it's one way to learn, right? Trial and error. Alright, I'll put these guys here and... Oh no, I have to individually put them, right? Yeah. I tried searching for like a magnet item. I don't think there is any. I know Ender IO has an electromagnet or something similar, but I don't think anything like that exists in this mod pack. I mean, it's not really a problem, right? It's just the quality of life thing that would be nice to have. Okay, so I'm probably gonna make more of a mess whenever I add more of these crafting CPUs. If I... No, we're fine. Okay. I'm gonna add up to 5 of them total. And then we'll see how much of an impact this makes. And now the technical part of me is very curious now. Which direction does it prioritize the storage? Because not all of them had patterns in them. I'm not gonna try to figure that out right now because it makes a big mess every time I make modifications to this. So if I try to craft a lot of modularium, for example, if I try to craft 576 it takes to do this, how fast is it going to craft this modularium stuff? It was taking a while before. It's not very fast. Did it even make much of a difference? I guess it is a little bit faster. I was assuming it was going to craft more than one at a time, but it doesn't look like that's the case. That's fine. We'll just leave it like this for now. It is a little faster. So let me go back to trying to craft the large compact machines. Actually, what we want to do to make the giant machine is to send this into a pressure poop injector. So that's one thing I haven't really worked on, is automating our pressure poop injector. Yeah, there's multiple things I have to do. I think I have to give this fluid input, and then I also have to give this the item input. So this is going to be a little bit of a tricky automation because there's a crafter I have to set up and a fluid exporter, which does remind me, I didn't talk about it earlier, but we also set up the sewage automation last episode as well. But there's no way to actually access the sewage in our refined storage, so I'm gonna have to do some spaghetti management to get in there. I know I've mentioned it before how much I love doing stuff like this. It's great. So I think what I can do is actually just get rid of this signalum cable, plug it there instead, and then have a external storage right there. And then I'll tell this fluids and to filter to sewage, and I think that's pretty much it. No, I'm not going to bother with getting that cable. It's somewhere lost. But if I check our fluid grid, we should have plenty of sewage now. Yeah. So how am I going... Oh, excuse me. Chill. How am I going to do this? This is going to be a little bit tricky because I have to go to the back of the machine. Probably should have set this up a little differently, right? But this is what I'm thinking. We're going to have access to our refined storage back here. So fluid grid, I think that should be fine. And then we have the crafter going into right here. So this is where we put the item that we need to process. And then I can just connect to the other side. So this one is going to have the exporter. And you're going to be exporting sewage. Should be able to connect from back there. Yeah. Right there. So if I check the inside, you're now filling up with sewage. Great. Can have an extra bucket. Okay, so this should be good to go, but one thing I need to consider is how much sewage do you need for this? So if I check for glitch giant machine, I should probably just prepare for the most expensive recipe. The large machine needs 32,000, and this one needs 64,000. So I just got a plan for 64,000. So I want to craft this one. That's not too bad. It's just upgrading it. And then the other thing to account for is how much power it takes to do this. So we need an energy hatch to be able to support 512 FE per tick. So right now we're using the normal energy input hatch. Yeah, this is probably as good as we need because the next tier of input hatch needs slime balls. And slime balls isn't really something we can get right now. I checked the quests, and I think this is gated behind making cows somehow. Is this, but it needs a 5x5x5. But we should be fine with the normal input hatch. Yeah, so 6 of you. We should be able to craft it. And then I'm going to want another large machine on the side. Yeah, we can do this. It's very expensive, but I need the other one to be able to put the other group of miniaturization field projectors in here so I don't interfere with this one. I don't really want to touch anything in here because it's working, and I feel like if I change it a little bit to make manual crafts, it's going to break everything, and I'd rather not have that happen. I hope you understand. Yeah, so really it looks like our main issue is how fast we craft these modularium blends. It's so slow. Even with the CPU upgrades, I don't think it's worth it to keep adding more of it. So we have to do something about this. And I'm thinking our solution is to use sequential fabricators. These are able to craft items extremely quickly. Okay, here it is. I'm going to put it over here and then push the items in a crafter. And then we'll go ahead and tell this guy to input from the top and output on the bottom. So the recipe we're going to teach this guy is to make the modularium blends like this. And I think this is pretty much good to go, but I do have to modify the modularium blend recipe. And so I have to fix the recipe so that it crafts, I think, a stack at a time. It crafts some amount. Let me double check here. I'm going to remake the recipe over here. So it is 4 stacks of uranium, 1 stack of redstone in the middle, and then 4 stacks of iron on the side. And how much is this going to make? It's going to make 1 stack. I think this is fine because this is as much as I can fit. Now, I'm curious about this. If I just... Yeah, let's make 9 of them. I don't know what this is going to do. I think what happens is that it's going to try to push all those items into the sequential fabricator. I've never really done this before, so we'll see what it does. So maybe it's going to recognize, like, wait, we need to craft so much of it, so try pushing everything in here. But in order for this to not get filled and then break our recipes, we need that pattern validation. So it's only going to accept as much as it can fit. Oh, look at that. That's so much faster. Okay, give it a servo and ignore redstone. And there it goes. Goodbye. Now you're faster. So I think this is a major flaw with our setups right now is that they're only using these item ducts. And I think what I should do from now on is replace all of these with conduits. That way, the speed it takes for us to move items into storage is so much faster. So let me set that up. So this is probably going to break a lot of the setups I have right now, but everything here is items. This is going to be another optimization where instead of having to wait for the items to move slowly across the item ducts, Ender IO conduits are instant transfer. So as long as it has a space to go, then it'll go. So I'm probably going to break everything doing this, but you know what? It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Connect everything there. And then this one is going to be insert on green. And then this one, all of them are going to be extract, always active on green. And then we do the same thing by pasting every single conduit we have on this network. I don't really care about the servos and item ducts. I'm just going to leave them to rot. There's just too much of you guys. But there's probably things that I broke. For example, if I check here, the servo gets pushed into here. I don't know how this works with Ender IO conduits, but we'll see what happens whenever I try to craft that stuff. But the main reason why I'm adding those conduits is so that I can actually push the modularium blend out much faster. Because it was taking a while for it to come out and then get sent back into storage. But if I give this an extract upgrade, it's going to be pushing stacks at a time very, very quickly. So one more time, if I try to craft like, I don't know, 1024, right? A whole bunch of you. What's going to happen here? And then realize that it doesn't work. I don't know why. Why don't you work? It looks like it's fine. It should be pushing here. But I think what's happening is that Ender IO has trouble passing between compact machines. So what I can do is just give this as a strong box instead, so it accepts all the items, and then we extract again from here. So now all the items from other compact machines should get put into strong boxes, and then we extract from there. If I check here, yeah, now we're pushing all the items here. But look at that. Look how fast it's crafting now. It's so much faster. And then now this can't keep up, so this needs extract upgrades as well. I think what I'm going to do for some of these setups that have, for example, right here, I don't think this is going to work. But if I have a conduit facing a machine here, I think this should be okay. So for example, I'm going to try this right there, so that anything that gets sent here should get extracted. I hope, at least. Yeah, look at that. But yeah, I'm just going to go across each of these machines, make sure they all have pointing correctly. This is probably going to be the worst one to set up, though. Can I parkour back there? It looks like I can. Yeah. Oh no, how am I even going to get back there? I can probably just remove it from here. Oh yeah, I can. And then give it a strong box. Watch this. Right there. So if I go outside, yeah, you're facing a strong box. I think this works already. If I check from the outside, it looks like everything is going to try to push items into... So I have to get rid of this connection, though. But the output should go into the strong box, and then it gets sent through the conduit over here. I can reach, right? Yeah. Okay, so all the input-output should be addressed now. And I think we should be good to try crafting the large compact machines. We want 6 glitched ones, not 16, 6. And then we want 1 regular one. And then we can see how much faster the modularium blend is crafting now. Because it was crafting like a little bit at a time, and now it's crafting like half stacks at a time. Look at that. So much faster. We can probably improve it some more, but I'm going to leave it like this. Okay, so I took a pretty long break in order to get some chicken Alfredo. I even did some chores around the place, but the compact machines are all finished. 7 of them. I did have to cancel the glitch one because I forgot about something. There's actually nowhere for the items to go whenever they're finished crafting. All I should have to do is put an importer right there, and then it's not going to look very pretty, right? But when has anything ever made look pretty? So this should accept the items that I throw into here. And I might as well just do that right now, actually. Throw 6 in there. Oh yeah, look at it go. Alright, that should be finished in no time. And they should be ready now. Sweet. Next up is to actually craft the giant compact machine. It's not that expensive. Oh no, it's pretty expensive. Who am I kidding? It's just that I already have these. But we need 20 compact machine walls and a single machine casing. So I did make a mistake earlier. I've noticed how to craft these compact machine walls. Because right now what I do is use this multi-block, which we crafted like on the first episode or something like that. And this is just super slow. It takes 100 ticks, which is divided by 25 seconds each one. And if I'm having to make thousands of them, that takes forever. So yeah, the entire time I was AFK, it was mostly just waiting for this to craft. But one thing I didn't really realize until now was we can actually just make them in the field projector. And this is way cheaper. It's just 1 block of iron, 2 pieces of redstone, and that's pretty much it. So I think moving forward, I do want to set up this recipe, and I'm probably going to be making that pretty soon. But let's make this giant compact machine first, just to have it. Very excited for it. And then, of course, we need to have its own large compact machine to fit it, because again, I'm not going to be putting it into here. I'll be breaking everything otherwise. So I think, just like before, I should be able to put it like that. Yes, and then I can just build the thing. I'm assuming it's like this, and then 1 on each side. I'm going to need 1 on the bottom as well. Like that, and then 1 on top. And then the rest of it is compact machine walls. Ender Pro. Oh, there it is. Giant compact machine. Sir, you're taking so long to craft. What gives? I don't know why I'm so giggly today. It's been like this all day. I don't know. I guess I'm just in a good mood that we're making some pretty good progress in the pack. And getting pretty close to the end as well. And a part of me is itching to play some Meatball Craft pretty soon. Thank you. So we have giant compact machine. I'm going to use our giant compact machine to put any 5x5x5 recipes in there. And I think this compact machine is going to be used to fully automate these compact machine walls. Because in order for me to upgrade it to the maximum sized one, I need a 5 by 5 by 5 space. So let me get more miniaturization fields just to see if it actually works. Personal shrinking device missing. I don't actually make these, so what I do for these, there's a quest that, it's one of the very first quests. It actually just gives you one for free every 3 minutes. You don't need to be there. Put this guy right here. How much space is this? So much more space. And I'm guessing I can put this guy in the center. I hope it lets me do 5 by 5s. Oh, you know what? It might not let me do 5 by 5s right here. Uh-oh, no, I don't think it's going to let me do 5 by 5s in here. Yeah, no, this isn't looking too good. Chances are I'm going to have to make one of the maximum ones the more expensive way in order for this to work first. Okay, well, I guess we can't use the giant one to do this. So it looks like any recipe that uses 5 cubed miniaturization fields, I'm going to have to make the maximum sized one. Which is kind of troubling though, because the only way to make a maximum compact machine, the first one, we have to spend 6 of these glitched giant machines. That's extremely expensive. Okay, fine. So I don't think we actually have a use for this right now. I think what I'm going to do is commit to the next one right away. I should be able to smelt this to reset its NBT data. Yeah, just gonna throw it in here. There you go. And let's do the math here. If I want 5 more of these, each one needs 6. So I need 30 more large machines. It's a little bit expensive. 30 more glitched large machines. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, we're only missing 100,000 of iron, 75,000 uranium. But that should be fine because remember, in the compact machine wall recipe, I was making it using modularium. This is really expensive. This consumes a lot of uranium and iron. I think that's where most of the cost is coming from. But if I set up automation to make these compact machine walls using miniaturization, this is so much cheaper. Yeah, we're going to have to do this because there's no way I'm going to wait around for another 100,000 iron and uranium to show up. That's going to take too long. And I think I'm running out of cable space. So what I'm going to do is just move this guy up 1 and then give it a refined storage cable. So I can access the refined storage in the bottom machine as well. Okay, so I got everything ready. It's going to be pretty much the same thing as the other setup. And I have a picture of it on the side here so I can reference it instead of me going back and forth. I was able to set this up way faster than last time because I already have it set up. So yeah, it's been proven this whole little setup here works pretty well. Like this is our obsidian one. And we have plenty of pearls, and I can always increase that to more. 67,000 obsidian also, by the way. That's pretty good. Okay, we're not fully done yet, though, because we need a way to actually produce blocks of iron. And then I'll just find a spot in our passive box to do this little setup. I don't even have a way of getting back there right now. No, I do. I can climb up the ladder. I gotta parkour my way around this place. You think I can put it here? I can probably just put it... I'll put it here, yeah. It'll fit right here. Okay, so we get the factorizer right here. Accept from the right and push from the back. And then this gets saved in a chest. And then we give the exporter to the factorizer, tell it to export iron ingots, a crafting upgrade to actually craft it. So this guy will accept iron ingots and then pushes the iron blocks over here, to which we will use a storage bus and filter to iron. And that's pretty much it. So now we have a source of iron. And if I check my storage, I can check for iron blocks, and there we go. Now we're building up. So if I check my little setup over here, there we go. We should be good now. I keep right-clicking the crafting grid with my with my crescent hammer. So just like that, we already have 650 compact machine walls. That's pretty good. And really, the next step is to just hang out and wait for these compact machines to craft. One thing I should do is actually make another large compact machine to act as our manual crafter. So that's what I'm going to start off with. Let's make another large compact machine. Man, if you really think about it, we were struggling to make even a single one of these a couple episodes ago. And now I made 8 in one episode. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, this should go by so much faster because we already had all of the compact machine walls ready instead of having to wait for a ton of them to process. Okay, we got another large compact machine, and yeah, that didn't really take long at all, so it's a really good idea that we did this. And while it was crafting, we just made another 3,600 compact machine walls. So this is a really good setup to have. So what I'm going to do is just connect it to our refined storage, and I'm going to semi-automate it, where I just set up a crafter pointing into a chest that has the recipes that I want to do. So I already made a pattern here. It's going to consume 20 compact machine walls, 6 glitched large machines, 1 machine casing, 1 pearl to make 1 giant compact machine. And I'm okay with doing this manually because honestly, I'm kind of scared of setting up an automation for this because these are extremely expensive resources and I really don't want to mess it up. So if we want to craft the maximum machine, just 1. We need 1 and then we can make the rest of them cheaper. But I need to make 6 glitched giant machines. So can we do that? No, it looks like we still need a lot more. Kind of curious what's the point. Oh, no, it's because of the compact machine walls. I'm going to take off the recipe so it doesn't get confused. I'm no longer going to have this recipe. I'm going to rely on full passiving this, and I can just know when we don't have enough. We want 6 of these glitch giant machines. And yeah, we're only waiting for 6,400. It sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. I only waited like 10 minutes or something like that for 3,800. But I think this is a good time to wrap up the episode. I've just realized we're kind of running low on time. And so if I think about the next episode, we're going to be making the maximum compact machine at the start. I'm pretty sure I can guarantee that. Because really, we're just waiting for the compact machine walls to build up. But the idea is to have our first maximum compact machine hold the field projectors to make the 5 cubed recipes. And I think after that, I want to start aiming for the high impact compactor. Let's just take a look at what this is going to cost us. Oh no, I see it. It needs the ultimate energy input hatch. You know what that means, right? Slime balls. I'm not even concerned about the cryo-stabilized flux ducts, but I'm concerned about the slime balls. I don't even know how to get this actually. I don't know, but as part of this quest line, you actually have to do this in a 5 cubes miniaturization stuff, which is kind of funny because it's like way late in the game and you're just starting to do that now. We're actually getting pretty close to the end. I can't really say how many more episodes until we finish up because we still have to accomplish every quest in the quest book. We've got a bunch of little random things to take care of, but the ones I'm really interested in are the challenges. I don't really know what this is going to require of us, but this one sounds pretty funny. And also these guys. I always laugh whenever I see the name of these. If you didn't know what those are, Nuclear Craft actually adds some kind of chocolate food or s'more food. Yeah, more s'more double sminget. Like how ridiculous the saturation is for that. I don't even know if that works with without any other kind of mods. But we'll hold that off for next time. For now, have a good day. Take care. I appreciate your time and support as always. Bye-bye.